absolute tank. We got a double header here with Nature Fellas.
It's been a blast, and we can't wait to share more incredible hunting and fishing content with you.
Welcome back, guys, to another brand new Non-Typical Nation podcast. We haven't done one of these in a little while, but when we do them, we make sure that we have, you know, a special setting and a special people to do this with. On today's podcast, we've got Boris, the owner of Basso Safaris, and then we've got Keith Denoncourt. You know, Keith's written a ton of articles for us here at Non-Typical Nation. He's filmed a bunch of content for us, and we're just wrapping up our South African safari. And before we get into that, Boris, I want to thank you for just an incredible week. We're going to share it all with you guys, but just to kick things off, thank you, Boris.
Thank you very much, Brody.
Awesome. And Keith was here last year, so he kind of threaded the needle and got, you know, made this happen for everybody.
Cool. That was cool. That was amazing. I'll tell you, it was a leap of faith. No doubt. Like I'm a hometown hunter. Yeah, like I can go in my backyard and get whitetail, and the very blunt. The thought of going to South Africa was a little bit intimidating for me. So I talked to some professionals that we have, and well, when Boris contacted me, very, very blunt, I was a little bit skeptical, but I contacted some professionals. They told me how to do it, and when I came the very first year, Boris, there are standards that I'm used to, and then there are new standards, and you met and exceeded all standards that you could ever imagine, like from the hospitality, like the accommodations. Oh man, being met at the airport, you know, like we have a long flight, right? So you being met at the airport, being personally escorted. It was a time of my life, and this is where, when you have the time of your life and you feel blessed, our responsibility is carrying that forward. And that's where I had to call you and Amy. I've known you guys for years, and I went, if this doesn't have you guys written all over it, I really don't know what does.
I think, Keith, you know, I put myself in your shoes. If I needed to go and do a hunt anywhere in the world, I would expect to be treated like that. And I think it's important, and it's a long journey that you take. You know, everything's a journey in life, I believe, you know, and as we get older, we see these journeys taking place, and, you know, and hopefully that just don't come to an end. But this is certainly, Keith, I think you and I go back now a long way. It's not just a year, it's a long way. And certainly with you, Brody, you know, being in touch and putting this together, you know, it doesn't just happen overnight, you know, and that's the exciting part. There's always excitement in it, you know, in putting a trip like this together, and for the future, how we do our plans.
But it went so clean. Like, I mean, I'm not a seasoned traveler, right? And taking the airplane over was a little bit on the intimidating side. But I remember when I walked through the airport, and there you are, big smiles with Luzon, and at that point in time, everything just went, whew. And for myself, what I love about Basso here is the diversity that what they can offer, because I'm the type of guy, I do need assistance hunting. I don't want to quit, but I need assistance. So when I come to Boris and I go, Boris, listen, I've had X, Y, and Z, I need assistance. It's nice to get that assistance without judgment. Like, he's not looking at me going, oh, you need assistance, you're here. You're going, you know what, you're a fellow human. If you need assistance in any way, and the staff here, you know, I mean, the staff, when they come, yes, they're helping you because it's part of hospitality, but they're also helping you from the heart. And the individual care and attention they gave us, like, you've got to experience this, guys. You go out on your little safari, right? And then you come back, and all of a sudden here's the staff, and they have these wipes, and you're all clean, and how they care for you, from, you know, offering the drinks to the nourishment. It makes you feel like you're at home.
It certainly does.
Yeah.
It is a special place. We've done a lot of these outfitted and guided hunts, and they're all unique in their own way. But this one, it really has that tight-knit, homey, family feel to it.
Doesn't it?
And you guys really know how to accommodate people here. And this trip was something truly special. But, like you said, we planned for this and planned for it. And we're reaching out to other folks who've traveled to South Africa for advice and this and that. And it's kind of daunting. But I want to say it doesn't need to be daunting.
No.
You don't need to get overwhelmed.
No.
As soon as I got on that plane, everything went smooth.
Yeah.
And I know every now and then with airlines, sometimes people have issues, this and that, but that's not everyone, and that is a very small percentage of the time you're going to have issues with airlines and whatnot. But everything went smooth.
Yeah.
We crossed the customs into South Africa when we landed. You picked us up at the airport. We made our trip to the lodge here, and everything went flawless. We got into the hunting, and we had highs and we had lows. We hunted hard, and like I told both of you guys, I kind of had my mind made up before I went to South Africa on what a South African hunt was. I've worked with quite a few guys who went to South Africa, and then they bring back, some guys will bring back 4 or 5 animals. Some guys will have a group and they'll bring back 15 or 20. Yeah. So I had this idea where you're going to come on a hunting ranch and you're going to go bang, 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 bang. But that's not the case. These hunting ranches are a little bigger than the hunting ranches I'm used to in North America. Yeah. This hunting ranch is huge. You couldn't walk from one side to the other in a day. It is absolutely massive. I don't know exactly how big it is, but it's big. We put the drone up in the air, and all you see is just vast African wilderness. The amount of wildlife we've seen was something special. Boris, you kind of hold a standard of harvesting males, and you always try to get a mature male. Before I kind of dive into the day-to-day of how things went, why don't you I haven't gave you a chance to introduce yourself and just share with everybody maybe how you got into the industry, how long you've had Basso Safaris, and a bit of that.
Well, I think, Brody, it goes back to, I guess, my father. My father and my mother immigrated from Italy in 1967, coming out of Europe that was really going through a horrible time, and South Africa was seen as the land of the milk and honey. And those type of Europeans were the Greek, Portuguese, Spanish came to South Africa, and they brought their engineering, they brought how to run businesses, and my father doing a limited amount of hunting in Italy. There was I don't even think there was any wildlife left over there. But in any case, I was very fortunate. I'm very blessed to have been able to share hunts with him at a very, very young age. He got me in, and so I grew up in a house where we would not harvest just for fun or shoot a bird, or he was an avid wing shooter, and my passion is wing shooting. But I got to go on big game hunts with him, hunting elephants, buffalo, lions and all that. So I'm very fortunate and blessed. So I got into professional hunting 25 years ago, and from there, I really wanted my own farm.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do farming. But
there's a standard. Like you often talk about the training that FASA gives you.
Correct. So we naturally we do a professional hunter's course, but that does not really prepare you for what is out here. Unless you grow up in the industry and you have that experience of hunting, physical hunting that you can do, hunting that you can share. And it's all about passion, guys. Yeah. It's about a passion that you have, and Basso Safaris. It's a young company as an outfitter. I'm a young outfitter, but my experience is I have 40 plus years of hunting experience.
Yeah. But go ahead.
Sorry, Keith. So in saying that, when I looked at doing this, I had naturally running businesses and all that, and I said to myself, for the guys who come from overseas, no matter where you come, the US, Canada, Europe, it's you're spending money to come to South Africa, which it's going to a good cause, because without the dollar, without the pound or the euro or the Canadian dollar, guys, it won't be wildlife.
Yeah.
And the standard I set is that whilst we are doing ranching over here, let's call it farming, we call it farming, and with that we can do the hunting, is to give a good quality trophy. Maybe a guy comes once in his lifetime. Why shouldn't we give him that support and give him a holiday and a hunt of note?
Yeah. But you mentioned something that was really, really critical. When we come over here, and I don't want to stand on a pedestal, because that's, I mean, honestly, I'm following examples of many hunters who have come before me. But we took the meat to the orphanage last year. And the meat that we provided, it fed 3 families and 63 students for 1 month. And there's some things that I don't want to share with you, because it's almost like, oh, look at me. No, I don't want to do that. I just want to say, when you've got 63 kids attacking you and swarming around you and going, thank you, thank you, thank you, they're doing it because it's, well, without us, they don't eat. And this is why when we first came here, I actually hugged an elephant. I'm not kidding. Like we went to Adventure with Elephants, and I said, you know what? We're not just hunters. We're conservationists, we're environmentalists, and we put back to the community. And this is what I really love about Basso, because when I come with my wife, I love my wife dearly. So when she's watching this, I love you. But I'm sitting back going, I can go hunting, but then I can also go do something like for video and photography. Like there's so many what we would call trophies that don't involve hunting. So would you mind? What are some of the things that Basso offers that is beyond the hunting scope that you want to talk about?
So we, once again, this country is very unique and very diversified. In actual fact, take Africa, take anywhere from Botswana, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Namibia, Zambia, Tanzania, Kenya. Africa is a unique country. It's a dark continent, but it's unique in its way. So we are blessed that South Africa has 2 oceans, the Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean. We have places like Cape Town where you want to go taste wines, you want to do sightseeing in Cape Town. Then we have the mighty Greater Kruger National Park. That is fantastic. It is a must. So I always say, it's great to come to the farm and it's great to go to concessions, but it's also nice to go to the Kruger where you can relax a bit and see all the animals, from the big 5 down to the smaller cats, down to the small antelopes, and you have it over there. I think it's something different.
So you offer those photography tours and other wildlife tours aside from your hunting?
As well, and fishing. Going up to the Caprivi in Namibia.
Helicopter tours.
I do tiger fishing and all that, so that is something very special and all that. And that's what we can offer as outfitters in South Africa. It's not just Basso Safaris, but it's what South Africa can offer at the end of the day. I've done quite a bit of traveling now in the US. I've done intense traveling in Europe. And as much as I'm Italian, but I'm born South African. I love this country to bits and what it can offer,
Yeah, it really is a magnificent country. And I've only seen just a pinpoint on the map. Right?
And you've only seen a pinpoint of the farm as well.
That's right.
Well, see, this is what got me. I mean, this is what really got me, because we were here and we were very successful, but then we get to go to the outside of Basso, and I mean, just over there, they're in somewhere over there. We're not going to say exactly where, but there's endangered white rhinos. And I mean, when I sit back and you hear this, and I don't know how else to call it, but negative propaganda, like, oh, this is the last white rhino, and yet I'm scratching my head going, well, how many, like that last year we must have seen 20, 25, 30?
Yes.
30 of these, or the giraffes or the black rhino. And you actually get to see, for no better term, some of the truth of that equation. A lot of people, they have this idea that all the meat gets wasted, and you're just going, well, that's just, wow. Like, everything is processed, everything is donated. Like, there's nothing is disrespected, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think, to have sustainable wildlife, whether that's in Canada or here or United States, these animals have to have value, right? If they don't have any value and you can't hunt them, and say you have a farm of some sort, you aren't going to want that animal there because it's going to cause havoc. But if that animal has value, you're going to keep it around.
Yeah.
So the white rhino, for example,
Yeah.
you know, what's a hunt like that worth? And how many are in South Africa?
I think answering the question, how many, is quite a not a sensitive question to answer, but for farmers who are farming with white rhinos, they will not give all that data because of the poaching. You know, that's one thing. No one discusses poaching. We always discuss the hunter who comes out to hunt a giraffe or a rhino, and it gets frowned upon. For what reason? It's really media throughout the world don't have the facts. If I had to put rhino here, I would love to put rhino on my farm. Number one, it's a bit of a risk to my family, to myself, because it gets poached. There's governments involved. My thought on rhino why don't they legalize? Why do you go and burn ivory and tusks? Why do you do that? Why don't you flood the market? Because by doing that, there's no value then to these guys who are using and trading illegally. So if I had to put rhino here, would I allow you to hunt all my rhinos and put me at a loss? No, we hunt animals that have come to an end of their life, and that's what we do, so that we can get money in, that we can better the genetics and improve it. So let's go back. We need to go back, in actual fact. And that's why South Africa, with its ranching that is done, really brought, let's talk sables. Sables today, most of us have sables on our farms. Mm-hmm. Years ago, I remember going with my dad, there weren't sables. It was agricultural cattle farming. Yeah. All of a sudden, there's kudu, and we've brought the numbers up. Same as rhino, we've brought the numbers up. And I think that's what we're missing. We're missing what South Africa has been doing, and with a really game that was almost, hunted out by our forefathers, in South Africa.
Well, I was talking to your son earlier, and I was saying, like, this is a beautiful thing, and there's a substantial difference. We all know there's a substantial difference between poaching and hunting. And I was talking to Dimitri, and I said, what do you do if you see a poacher out here? And please, I'd like you to elaborate, but the way he was explaining it, the money that Basso Safaris and the other outfitters together, they actually support the anti-poaching methods, so that if they as a collective see a poaching issue, they can call a number, and within that number there is an armed response. They do not take poaching lightly. This is an armed response. And the fact that your business supports the anti-poaching establishment, do you want to elaborate on that?
So that's, especially on rhino and all that, because there is quite a bit of rhino in our area. There's definitely patrols over there. The farmers invest a lot of money in security to look after these rhinos, because unfortunately they do get poached. Regarding poaching in the sense of putting snares out there for game, there's a lot of guys whose businesses are at risk over there. I'm very fortunate in this area we don't have as much as that. The problem with that is if you do get a guy putting a snare out and he catches a duiker or a steenbok or an impala, you can call the police, you have him locked up, and 2 days later the guy's free because he just says he's hungry and all that. So hunting, what it does for us, it brings an income in which I can create job opportunities. And when you're creating job opportunities, you're feeding a lot of families. If you're employing one person, it's not just one person I'm employing. In actual fact, I'm employing his whole family. Yeah. Because I'm feeding that family. I'm paying them wages and salaries, clothing them. So, there's a bigger picture to hunting, and I think that's what the greenies and certain media houses don't see. Yeah. Because quite frankly, I can't see how photographic safaris can contribute to that.
You told me something that Basso Safaris did a little while ago, because I went to this adventure with elephants, and people have this idea that elephants are endangered everywhere, but that's not true. They're endangered in certain spots and need to be protected. And this is where, when you told me what Basso Safaris did, I'm sitting back going, yeah, that's my boy, Boris. Because, can you imagine this? You got some elephants coming over here. They're going to the harsh reality is they are going to get shot if they go into areas that they're not supposed to. That's a hard reality.
Yes.
But you and your team, R44s, 2 of them, pushing a herd of elephants back. I don't know what an R44 goes to per hour, but it's only because you and the other outfitters, they're looking at that elephant going, you know what? We only harvest in excess. We do not harvest endangered. And by you guys actively protecting those 10 to 15 elephants, I'm saying thank you, my friend. That was outstanding. I was going, wow.
So those elephants, it's elephants that came over from Botswana. They crossed the Limpopo just up here.
Wow.
And it's funny, this Limpopo is, now it's gone down, but it was really in flood. And these elephants came over, and a lot of the guys out here, plant maize and sugar grass.
Okay.
And these elephants, electric fencing is nothing for them. They just push them over. So, we need to get hold of nature conservation, not something you just hunt. None of us do that over here. So literally what happened was to get permission from nature conservation and to herd them back into Botswana. And that was awesome.
That was
awesome to be part of that. But that's, it's not just here, it's throughout South Africa that we really look after our game. We are custodians of our game. Also, it's a human population that's just overgrown, and these animals, unfortunately, even in the nature reserves and further in concessions, if you go to Zimbabwe, Botswana, or Mozambique, they're getting into human habitat
that's
areas.
exactly it. The human population is continuing to grow.
Correct.
It's getting larger and larger and larger. So without large concessions like this,
habitat loss.
you're going to lose a lot of habitat. And the fact that you can kind of, you call it farming, right? Just genetically keep these animals in tip-top shape and making sure you have not only quality but quantity of each and every species is super, super important. And that's how you're going to keep them around for a long time.
Correct. And that's the perfect world. But we forget about drought.
That's right.
We forget about this area had I was very blessed that we had a lot of rain this season. Previous season we had a drought, and with the drought, funny enough, our rain season is from about October till end of March, and we received rain in June.
Wow.
And with that we had black frost. So drought and rain that should not have come through, and we lost 80% of our kudus here. Now, to lose kudus like that and to replace it, it takes many years before you can even harvest a kudu bull. You're talking 8 years, 9, 10 years before you can hunt it. So that's the type of investment we're talking about. It's all about time on our side, and time for the hunters. But we're not just talking about trophy hunters. We also have local hunters.
That's right.
But what's hunting all about? Let's be honest, guys. Isn't hunting about being in the bush with your family, enjoying nature out there? We hunted hard, Brody.
Yes,
we really hunted hard for a week, and hell, it wasn't easy.
It wasn't.
Flipping was not easy. I don't give a damn, and there's an abundance of game, So if anyone tells me, these animals tied up in a zoo and all that, no, they are not.
No.
They're wild.
Yeah.
Well, what's so unique about your situation is you offer something for everybody. So I came into this hunt wanting to at least try and harvest a South African animal with the bow. Right? And we did. But we went in, we started with sitting in a ground blind. It was the first evening, and you guys hunt your ground blinds and your archery hunting very similar to how we hunt deer in Saskatchewan or how we hunt bears in Alberta. We bait these animals, and right now it's winter here. It doesn't look like it, but this is their winter season. So by providing additional feed, you not only keep those animals healthy and in tip-top shape as much as you can, but it also gives those archery hunters a good opportunity because it's going to bring these animals in. But that's not always how it works. And everyone who hunts, doesn't matter where it is, you can never predict what these animals do. But that first first sit, we had 7 bull Cape buffalo come in.
Correct.
Right? We had at least between 7 and 10 bull golden wildebeest, and I'm getting film, and I am just super excited and jacked up about this. I didn't prioritize capitalizing on the opportunity I had in front of me, and I kind of let it slip, right? But the action we had was incredible, so I was very confident. Next day we're going to come in that blind, and we're going to have 20 more animals and bulls come in, and we did. But there were cows and calves.
Yeah.
So
yes, cows and calves, and a bull in there, and
a young bull,
and just no opportunity.
And so it was tough. I did end up harvesting an incredible golden wildebeest, a beautiful, fully mature, old King's golden wildebeest.
Yes, it's actually a golden wildebeest, but he does have a King's, let's call it colouring in there as well. We've got patches on there. So
yeah, I guess, what I'm getting at is yes, you can bait these animals in, but at the end of the day, these are wild animals, and you can never really predict them. So we sat in that blind for 6 evenings, and it was the last night. We decided to do some spot and stock hunting with the last half hour, and we got just an incredible golden wildebeest. But we've done a lot of spot and stock hunting as well. We put 10 kilometers on our boots the first day. We seen just an array of animals, but not the animal we were looking for. It just didn't give us the right opportunity. We did the same thing on day 2. And then on day 3, Amy got a shot at a beautiful gemsbuck. And the gemsbuck, they're spectacular, beautiful, tough animals. They stand tall, and aren't they just majestic? You got a beautiful one last year as well.
Yeah, I also got a great taxidermist working on it. So, no, I did last year, like I said, and you hit it. You guys did 10K. I did 10 sits. It's a diversity.
That's right.
And at no point in time did I feel left out or excluded. We just matched the expectations, right? And then, like I said, I've had my gemsbok. I got a beautiful impala, a beautiful blue wildebeest, and I also got the warthog. But it was such a dynamic for me. And like I said, what really made me feel really special is where all the meat was and how respectful it was processed. Like I've been around a lot of First Nations harvests in my life, and I pride myself in being very traditional, very respectful. This met and exceeded all standards. Like nothing was ever wasted. And I went, that's something that I truly valued. And if my hunting skills help support a community, look at me and tell me that we shouldn't feed orphans. And that's what I say to the greenies. They say, you're there hunting. Yes, I am. And if somebody tells me that this is wrong, well, I don't want to be right,
Yes, Keith. I think it's once again, what happens to meat. That meat is, for me, it's important. So I, apart from the local school where we go and, like we did last year, we go and donate meat over there. I also donate meat to a community in the northwest province, which feeds 250 homes.
Nice.
So 250 homes, so you must think about their families and all that. So it's 250 homes where naturally on my way there, it's about a 6-hour drive. On my way there, I do drop off carcasses. And then I have a church as well in our town, in the Paris area, which is in the Free State, which I also once a year, take the carcass and I convert that carcass to boerewors, sausage and all that. And that they can dish it out to the homeless over there. I think, our country sits with, and it doesn't matter what segments of the country, what race you are, but we sit with a huge amount of poverty. There is unemployment, which is registered at over 33%. I think the highest in the world. I think we're rated definitely in the top 3 of the world. So if you can give back, if you can give something back in your life, why not? If I was in their shoes, I would like somebody to look after me. I mean, it's not their fault that they're in that position, Unfortunately, we have governments that are not looking after their people, no matter what. I think it's throughout the world, this phenomena. So if we can contribute to something, Let's do it.
That's right. You know, and so you contribute the meat to these communities, but you've also hired some locals that you've had working with you for several years. And there's something special. They've got just the tracking ability of these animals, or these guys. You know, they can find cell phones.
They can find.
I don't think so. Just to it's a joke amongst us, but some guys come with all pockets and in their trousers and their shirts, and
forget to zip them up.
when we're looking for the games buck, my good friend over here, Brody, he lost his cell phone.
No, actually, he placed it there. He placed it there.
I think he was trying to test David's ability in tracking cell phones. You know, he saw his ability in tracking game was good, but he just really wanted to put him to the test.
Yeah.
But how was that? You know, we'd done many miles that day, kilometers that day, and for him to backtrack. And it's not easy. You know, you can see the sands. We do have a bit of long grass over here, dry grass. Yeah. But you saw places where, you know, there's a lot of thorny bush over here,
right.
you know, and dense areas. And for him to track it back a day later,
that was impressive.
He was not even with us, you know. No. You know, so how does he track it back? Fantastic. I mean, I think he took our tracks and he backtracked.
Yeah, you've got a great team here.
Yeah.
You know, from the folks that keep the cabins up and cooking the meals, the guides, you know, and then the trackers. Everyone plays their part, and it truly makes just for an incredible experience.
So, Keith, Brody, I mean, Keith was here before, and it's not just that. All my friends, you know, they come and visit me, whether it's from the US, Canada now. My business model over here, and it is a business model after all, is I never want to be commercialized in the sense that, you know, it's just rolling clients in, rolling clients out.
Yeah, that's right.
That's not what I'm about. I don't need to do that. For me, it's about having friends. You know, friends is very important. Yeah. So when people coming to visit me, I'd like, you know, a small group where I can give the best. I can give the best. My family can give the best. This is a family business, you know. Like I say, Design helps me with my admin, with my the things that I cannot get around because my focus is on the hunt.
Yes,
you know?
that's right.
I have the kids now that have done their professional hunters course that are assisting me at the age of 20. They're getting into it, and that's important. You know, from my staff, like I said it the other day, I am the face. But after all, it's the team that's around me that complements what I'm trying to achieve.
Well, you said it because even last night we had fresh sable. We also had fresh impala.
That's right.
Part of the team, Caroline helped prepare it, and then Dimitri helped prepare it. And I mean, can you imagine? I mean, who would have ever thought he would come over and we get fresh sable, fresh impala, the gemsbok we ate with me. The individual different types of sausage meats that we had, like boulevars, and we had several different flavors.
What about biltong and dry wars?
Absolutely.
That was new and delicious.
We ate really well, didn't we?
Yes. Yeah, we eat well in South Africa, yes.
But one of the things, and I'm getting excited, one of the things I really like to do is I like to put smiles on people's faces, and you hit something here. We're in a position in our life where, very honestly, I don't need to work with an outfitter, but I choose to because you're my friend first. And you hit that. You're my friend first. And if I can put a smile on your face and help you become involved, don't hesitate to give us a shout. And I mean that in all honesty. You're going to see contact numbers here at the end of this podcast. Do not hesitate to call. And if you even have questions, we're going to give you the honest answer. And right now, I'm telling you, thank you for bringing me back the second time. I'm already booked for my third trip. I haven't even left yet. I'm already going, okay, next July, it's going to be my anniversary, so thank you.
Thank you, Keith. I think that's what I would like, with friends from all over the world, is to come visit me. It doesn't have to be hunting. We can do other things, and that makes us happy in life, because we only have one life.
That's right.
Yeah. We really have one life, and if we can enjoy it, and that should not be selfish with our monies and all that, but let's enjoy life and come visit us. Visit Basso Safaris. I mean, we're very unique in how we do our things, and I believe family values is very important. Family values and come with a family. That's what I say. Bring
Yes.
your families. You know, if you can, I'll accommodate all families over here. And I think that's prize number one. For
Yeah.
me.
Perfect. So I'm all about the hunting. I love the hunting. What's some of the specialties or some of the unique things that you guys offer on your hunting ranch here?
So, apart from, you know, we all talk buffalo and it's great, it's awesome. I mean, we had
Oh.
encounters with buffalo.
We had some
I must tell you
incredible
that, I
Too
think,
close.
close encounters with big buffalo bulls, and that's one thing I noticed here is you've got a lot of Cape buffalo.
Yes.
And there are a lot of very big bulls. You know, we bumped quite a few of them when we were spot and stock hunting. We were within, I think, 7 meters at one point.
Well,
Seven.
It
Yeah.
was that, but yes. So, and apart from the snakes, we're not going to mention our snakes.
There are snakes here.
So we're not going to butter anyone up. But yes, I think the nice thing about it is, you know, we have the blue wildebeest, we have the southern impala, the kudu, the gemsbuck, the eland.
Zebra.
But what makes
Yeah.
it really nice is that you can hunt other, for example, what we introduced, the color variants, which have become very popular now for the hunters. So, you know, we have white flank impala, we have black impala, we have saddleback impala. We have now dapple impala that's also become popular. And the golden wildebeest.
the golden wildebeest,
you know,
yeah.
that we have. You know, also, you know, we talk about your waterbuck, your warthogs, your steambuck, your duiker. So there's a lot, and it's just what we have here. But it's the concessions that I have as well, which in different provinces that makes it healthy. You know, that although we can hunt, I love to take hunters on a concession, show them different topography of our country, because you need to see my country. My country is a beautiful country. So just to be here, it's nice, but it will be nice to just go hunt next
Other
time. You know,
concessions.
other areas
But-
where we have.
But you also take care of the memories right from start to finish. I mean, for me, we actually go from here, then we go to another location, and
Yes.
then they take care of all of your trophies. They are very articulate. You never have to worry, okay, where is it? Like, who has it? It goes from here. And I absolutely love how they take care of your country. They take care of our country by, you know, make sure you know, all the parasites are gone, all the diseases, infections are done. They can walk you through it. And then when it goes from stage to stage to stage, it actually goes, and I'm going to tell you right now, 100% of all my trophies are done from Dave Booth Taxidermy. So like I said, we can take care of you right from start all the way to the taxidermy shop. And I've actually said to some clients, because they said, well, listen, I'm a little bit old, can we get help? And the answer is 100%.
Yes.
We've actually set it up where some of the trophies come in. You know, we have maybe a senior who needs assistance. We've got some people who will actually hand deliver it to your house
without
and
a
actually
doubt.
carry it up the stairs and assemble it for you. So,
Yeah,
like
so
I said,
Keith, in saying that, I firmly believe, and especially as an outfitter, that my job is not done until you receive your trophy. So where a lot of people might say, well, you know what, I've just done the hunt, thank you very much, I'm rewarded for that. But it doesn't, you know, the administration that we also put in as Basso Safaris is we start the administration for you, the emails that go out, and we contribute a lot to that, because it's very important that you get your trophies. That's why you come to South Africa.
Yes.
You come for the experience, you're coming for the hunting experience, and at the end of the day, it's important to get your trophies. And naturally, you know, you're a taxidermist.
Yes.
So if I just say to you now, Brody, I'm going to South Africa, and I'm going to harvest X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
You know, if we take the process from getting it to Swift, which, you know, treats the skins and we get it through to you.
Yes.
At the end of the day, you have a taxidermy that does South African mounts, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, we do quite a few every year. And you know, what's so special about the African animals in particular is there's something unique, right? We do a lot of deer, a lot of bear, but you know, we've been doing more and more African critters over the last few years. And you know, if you're watching it, you can check them out on our Facebook page at Dave Booth Taxidermy, or on our webpage. There's lots of different photos and reference photos on there. But yeah, at the end of the day, you've been doing this for a long time, and you kind of know the ins and outs. You know how to smoothly get that trophy from point A to point B, and then to the client's the final destination. So you've got something special here, man. And to be here with you this last week, I truly feel honored.
No, thank you, Brody. I think you start as a client, and let's be honest, we start as a client, but it goes a long way. We share such special moments, your lows and your highs in a trip. You start understanding each other's families. You came with your wife, and it's stunning. I mean, I think ending the safari last night with that sunset, enjoying a whiskey on the rocks. I think that was special. It was special, guys.
It was.
It really, everything worked well. I don't think we can complain about our hunt.
No.
The recovery of the trophies, the staff, everything just gelled. And I think just to sit there at the top of the farm, watching that sunset going over Botswana.
Yeah.
What else is there to like, guys?
Yeah, isn't there?
Huh?
That was pretty special, wasn't it?
It was.
It's an incredible place. I will definitely be back. I don't get tears in my eyes very often, but when Amy dropped that Impala and we walked up to it, and that was the first animal we had down after several days of stalking, some highs, some lows leading up to that, but when she held on to that and I seen him, drop from her eyes, and then I was trying to keep my eyes dry, but man, that was something special.
I was choking up too, because I was very blessed. I taught Amy not many years ago. We're not going to give her away her age, but I taught her, and so I knew her as a person. And when I saw the smile on her face, and when I saw the smile on your face, I went, yeah, I was pretty touched. That was a pretty impressive moment, I thought. So thank you very much for letting me be part of your family's adventure. It was pretty darn cool, buddy.
Yeah, it was something special, and now the filming aspect of things, just the footage we caught with all that was incredible. Yeah. We filmed 4 episodes here this last week. We got the golden wildebeest down, we got an impala down. We got the gemsbuck down, and then a beautiful sable. Things always didn't necessarily go our way. The sable in particular, me and you, we kind of stalked it and chased it around with the bow for about 25 minutes, half hour one morning. We spotted it, and it was just an opportunistic hunt, really. We sat in the blind one morning. It was cloudy, and the animals just weren't coming into the watering hole. And on our way back, we spotted this beautiful sable. We got out of the buggy, and we followed it for quite a ways and didn't get a shot off. Came back, had a coffee. We figured it'll probably go to the water, and sure enough, we went there, and there it was. Guys, I released an arrow. It went far left. It went high. It was out of this world. It did not go where it was supposed to go. But that animal, it died. We got it. So where did my arrow hit? How did that happen?
Well, first of all, Brady, I've seen you shoot with your bow, so it was also quite.
Yeah, so I'll mention that. So we did get back afterwards, and my sight, you could wiggle it left to right about a ½ inch. Yes. So sure enough, it was forced right, which would then bring my arrow left. So it was a total malfunction, but something just incredible happened. The fact that we stalked this animal, and no more than 20 minutes after that arrow was released, it had passed and it was down.
Yeah, so the shot was and we could see it on the videos. We could see it when it was running. It was really a bad shot.
Oh, it was awful.
It was right back between the hind leg and the stomach, basically in the stomach. And I said to you, we're very fortunate it's not a wildebeest, or a zebra that's going to give us a hard time to recover, and I said we will catch up to it. But then we are faced with another problem. As we start our tracking, we had the buffaloes, of I don't know, about 40-50 cows with calves coming in. And that now we've got to chase them off, and they're beautiful because they smelled the blood as well. And now we've got to boo them off over there. Now, how do we boo off a buffalo? I mean,
don't smack it. That was a joke. That was a joke.
Yeah. So we had that to sort out first before we could even start tracking. And there was a little bit of blood, and naturally David assisting us, because now there's buffalo, and that becomes his job to start doing the tracking, and my job becomes to make sure
Yeah.
that you are safe at the end of the day, and we're all three safe.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it went probably about 100, 120 yards.
Yes,
that was
right
Brody,
around
and,
there.
And there it is, lying dead, and we couldn't understand this because it was in and out, halfway out, and
But we were sitting there, and very honestly, I was confused.
Yes.
I was confused
So was I.
because I was sitting here and I was watching you. And you put your due diligence in. You had that brand new APA bow, and you were sitting here practicing at all the different ranges. You were confirming everything was working right. That you went above and beyond making sure everything was
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
And we were watching. We were teasing him because like he's 2 inches out. Okay, so we were sitting there going, but you got off the airline stiffness.
Yes.
Yes.
You shook it off. You practiced intently
Yes.
before that happened.
Yes.
So when all of a sudden I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and all of a sudden you see this, I knew,
Yeah.
because I could understand it how you might be 1 or 2 inches off. I can understand that. But when that went way south,
Yeah. Oh, it was tragic. And so what happened? I
Yeah.
think it was on day 5 when I arrowed that. Day 5 or 6. And the day previous, we hunted all day. All day.
Yeah.
I didn't. I had my bow with me all day, but I didn't shoot any targets. But every day leading up to that, day 1, 2, 3, I was shooting a target every day at lunch.
Correct.
And so somehow within the last 36 hours of me releasing that arrow, everything
was-
kind of loosened on my sight.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I think at the end of the day, I really learned that before every hunt, you gotta go over everything,
Yeah.
because wounding an animal is something none of us like to do. It adds a ton of work for you guys. You guys worked very hard this week. And these animals in Africa, they are tough. They are built totally different than our North American animals. And why don't we just touch on that a bit? What are some things that folks who want to come to Africa, what should they consider before a hunt? Because these animals are built a lot different than our North American animals.
Certainly. So there's a good book that you can purchase on Amazon.
Okay.
It's a perfect shot, and that's very important to have a look at the vitals, because our vitals do sit a little bit more forward. But even a well-placed shot, on a blue wildebeest, he's not going to just drop over there.
Yeah.
He's going to go
Yeah.
your 60, 70 yards. So I think at the end of the day, Brody, it's practice.
Practice.
I think certainly for a rifle hunter, we love, as you've seen, shooting off sticks, off a tripod there. I think it's important to practice that. It's important to go to the shooting range and just, and you guys can all shoot. I mean, we all can shoot. But
But these
the
animals are
walking-
different.
They are different.
Yeah.
They are
'Cause-
tough animals,
well-
and a badly placed shot. Let me tell you, we've experienced it. He's going to make you work to catch up to him.
Well, even on my animals, like we did the systems readiness check. We
Yeah.
checked our firearms. Yeah, we're hitting the bullseye. So once we do our systems readiness check, all the equipment's working. You sat me down and you said, Keith, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. I'm going, okay, great. I got it in my head. I'm an experienced hunter. I knew what I was doing. And then all of a sudden, when the Impala or the Gemsbach stepped up, you got that 2-3 second window,
Yes.
and in that 2-3 second window, very, very embarrassingly, I wasn't as focused. And my shots were like 2-3 inches off because I went, the same way I would do like an elk or a moose, and my animals did not go very far. But knowing what I know now, I have to practice more on very specific shot placement.
Yes.
And that's something that I went reflex, and well, like I said, my animals didn't go far, but man, that was heartbreaking.
Well, that's
Also
it.
see that.
This isn't a canned hunt.
Nope.
This is real hunting. You're
Yeah.
hunting animals that they don't want to see you. They want to get away from you.
Yeah.
You might have a close shot. You might have a further shot, right? If you want a closer opportunity, you'll set a guy up in a blind at a water hole or something like that. So you kind of accommodate guys to what type of hunting they want.
Yes.
But you got to prepare for a real hunt like you would prepare for a mule deer hunt. I compare this a lot similar to kind of a spot and stalk mule deer
Yeah,
hunt.
right.
Mind you, there's quite a bit of brush in your area here.
Yes.
So you might have a close shot at 40 yards. You might have a shot at 200 yards if you're kind of getting desperate at the end, right? So it is real hunting, and you got to prepare for it just like you would any other hunt.
And especially when you're doing a walk and stalk and they know you there and they've seen you. That is the,
or they smell you.
You know, you don't have a lot of
Yeah.
you don't have a lot of time. You know, especially your wildebeest and your zebra. You know,
Yes.
you have a few seconds to get you on the sticks, and I think maybe that's the pressure. You know, that there's a lot of pressure because you could be walking 3-4 hours and boom, there it is. Now you must line up. You know, and now you've lost concentration.
Yeah.
You know, that's the main thing. We lose concentration, and now you've been put under pressure because we have one chance. If it's an animal that we've done it and we've really caught them off guard, and you know, to catch a kudu off guard is not easy, but you know, if you can catch them off guard and they don't know you're there, then I think it's much easier. But it's when you're doing that walk and stalk and now the herder spotted you.
Yeah.
That's right.
That becomes a bit less pressure on us. But I think practice. That's the main thing. And I say you don't need to come with many calibers. Come with one caliber that can do the job, that suits you, that you're happy with. And naturally, we must make sure our equipment's right as well.
Right.
You know.
And so, what do you suggest for a caliber?
So on plains game, it's my preference. What I would do, and for bushveld. You know, you guys use 30-06s. A 30-06 it's a nice caliber to come with. I'm not a fan of it, but it is a nice caliber.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
a 300 Win Mag most certainly can do the job. Anything, you know, shooting a 180 grain, I wouldn't come with like 270s and all that. Not
Too
bush
light.
riders, too light, too fast. But a 300 Win Mag, 308. You know, if you want to shoot a little bit upper game, a 375.
Okay.
But see, this is it. You know, a lot of people that I came here and then they talked to me. They were kind of concerned because there are some calibers I've never fired, like you know the 416
Yes.
or all these big, and I'm going, you don't
Need it.
No, I used a 308.
Exactly.
I used a 308.
And that's what Amy also used.
That's right.
308
You know?
perfectly. You know, 308's a wonderful. I'm a fan of it. You know, 8 mils, 7 mils. I think at the end of the day, it's no matter what preference I might have. It's just what you are happy
with.
and comfortable
Yes,
with. You know,
that's right.
so you know, if we're going to go to the Kalahari, I would say then bring, you know, nice 300 will do the job in bushveld there. So it's what you're happy with, and naturally the preference of ammunition. You know, whether you're loading yourself or buying factory ammo, just come with good quality ammunition.
Right.
But I say, no matter what you do, place your shot perfect on the body, and we've got it, because we don't want wounded animals. You know, we want to make sure that we execute it,
Right.
you know, humanely as possible.
That's right. Pretty cool. Well, we fly out in a few hours.
Yes.
We've got to make our
It
way.
has gone quick, eh?
Oh, it has gone way
blink.
too fast.
Blank.
Way too fast.
But see, this is what I'm saying. You know what? I'm already sad.
Yes.
Like I gotta leave.
I know.
But I've already spoken to my wife, going, okay, we got to book. And this is my third. I'm already booking for my third hunt,
That's right.
or my third trip back here, and I haven't even left
But
yet.
look at this. We actually thought you guys were going back yesterday. How did that work out? You know, an
Well,
extra
one
day.
of us knows how to read. yeah, that was kind of cool. That was unexpected.
But talking about days, let's be honest, guys.
Let's,
you guys,
mention that.
Yeah,
traveling from Canada, I think from the US, it's slightly easier because the guys fly out of Atlanta to Johannesburg. It's a 15-hour flight. I think it's one of the longest flights in the world. But it's done. You know, it's 15 hours. It's not 15 hours. You know, it's waking up in the morning. It's a long trip. I always say add an extra 2 days for travel. It's very important because if you book a 7-day hunt and you by the time you rest, especially you guys that flew 40 plus hours, you flew into Europe you flew down, and that's why the next morning I let you guys rest, you know, because if I didn't let you guys rest, but you took advantage, you guys actually slept. I don't know what happened to you guys.
So we won't talk about how much we slept because but the message is give yourself time when you get here to put the travel behind you. But once again, Boris will take care of you when you get here. You know, so but you know what, Boris, I don't have any words. I mean, the words thank you or dankira don't necessarily cover it because it's more than a thank you. You've touched my life professionally. You've touched my life personally. You've included some really good friends of mine. So I got to sit here and say thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Boris.
Brody.
Hey, Brody.
All the way.
Thank you for letting me be part of your adventure. Thank you, my friend.
It's my pleasure.
So
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching and listening. Again, Basso Safaris, you guys, check them out online, on social media. Give Boris a call. Give Keith a call. He's going to be one of your booking agents. And we hope to see some trophies that you harvested here at Basso Safaris. Again, thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot.
guys.
Cheers.
We've partnered with the Veterans Association Food Bank and Basso Safaris to send you and a friend to South Africa on a 7-day filmed hunting adventure. The grand prize includes 4 trophy animals, luxury accommodations, and your entire hunt captured on film. Second prize is a $1,500 taxidermy gift certificate, and the third prize is a gear package from our favorite brands. Every ticket supports veterans and their families fighting hunger, homelessness, and isolation. Get your tickets at rafflebox.ca/raffle/huntingadventure.